Hello, everybody, and welcome to Table Talk. My name is Joni Rampolla, one of the registered licensed dietitians with Giant and Martin's. And since we are in the month of June, we are celebrating dairy because June is National Dairy Month. So my panelists and special guest today is Michelle. Michelle, want to take a minute to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Joni. Thanks for welcoming me. So my name is Michelle Barber. I'm a registered dietitian and a health and wellness specialist at American Dairy Association Northeast. And I know previously we had a question about what American Dairy Association Northeast is. So I'll do that now. But we're a nonprofit organization representing over 8,300 dairy farm families in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, and Northern Virginia. We are really just dedicated to advancing nutrition education and delivering research based communications that help support healthy communities. We collaborate all the time with a range of partners, both in the public and private sectors, including health professionals, schools, anti hunger advocates, and of course, grocery retailers, because we love to communicate with consumers about the importance of keeping dairy in your diet.
Excellent. So that's what the acronym ADANE stands for. I love that. Thank you. So can you tell us a little bit, like that's the organization, what is your role and maybe, your main mission or goal?
Yeah. So, as a registered dietitian on at American Dairy Association, I work under our communications team, our integrated marketing and communications team, and I work very closely with retailers and basically I'm able to do lots of fun programs to be able to communicate to consumers about dairy's place in the diet. So we do a lot of e-commerce campaigns, point of sale signage, things like that. I also do a lot of communications out to consumers with like media interviews and blog posts and social media and things like that.
Excellent. I know before I actually started the recording, we had a question about um, how long is the gestation period for a cow, and it's actually 9 months. Somebody
Yeah,
looked that up for us. So thank you, Faith.
thanks.
All right. And another comment that Martin's Giant have a sale this week on Turkey Hill ice cream, which is amazing.
Yummy. Mint chocolate chip is my favorite. So
Love that. So what are the biggest nutritional benefits of including dairy in your diet?
yeah, good question. So there's so many of them. I could spend the entire 30 minutes talking about the nutritional benefits of dairy in your diet and why it's so important to have those 3 servings every day. But milk has 13 essential nutrients in it that are naturally found in milk. That's like including calcium, protein, and vitamin D. It has 3 simple ingredients, and all of these nutrients in milk, because of this, has nutritional benefits. So there's bone health benefits, muscle and growth repair, heart health benefits, cognitive and brain health, and gut health. And these are all very heavily researched to talk about like the benefits of milk and type 2 diabetes or the benefits of milk and heart disease. So it's really well researched and really well thought out. And there's so many wonderful things. I think most people know milk as having great sources of calcium and vitamin D, which helps with like bone health. But there's so many more that are a part of the nutritional benefits.
So being a dietitian in the store, I often get questions about fat-free milk being higher in sugar. Can you explain this weird phenomenon that customers always ask about?
It is a weird phenomenon, I agree. So, I think it comes from when you take some of the fat out of, like, a fat-free milk, it tastes sweeter. So, I think they have the impression that it has more, sugar in it, but all milk, all plain cow's milk, regardless of fat content, contains the same amount of natural sugar in it, and that natural sugar is lactose, and there's 12 grams of lactose in every 8-ounce cup of milk. So there is no more sugar in fat free milk than full milk, if that makes sense.
So if you have an 8-ounce glass, right? Let's picture that 8-ounce glass. You take out some of the fat. I have
Yep.
to then, to fill it up for that missing fat, add more milk to the glass to make 8 ounces. So
Um,
the carbohydrate is slightly higher. It's very slight for the missing fat, but it's not that we don't add anything to milk.
no, and it still has that 12 grams of lactose in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just an interesting question that I feel like I always get asked.
It
S-
is. It definitely is an interesting question.
Yeah, so talking about lactose, as you just said, because some people are lactose intolerant, is there a way that they can still enjoy dairy?
Oh, I love this question because I think this is a common misperception when somebody is diagnosed or even self-diagnosed that milk really upsets their stomach and they're lactose intolerant. They feel like they have to stay away from it. And that is the last thing that we want to have them do because of all of those amazing nutrients found in milk. We really want them to continue to have milk for their health, for those nutritional health benefits. So they can still enjoy the delicious taste and nutritional benefits of dairy. And here are some just little tips that they can do to be able to try it. There's lactose-free milk, which is can be found in at any grocery store. And this is just real dairy minus the lactose. So what they do is they just break down that sugar molecule so it's easily digested for you. But this is lactose-free milk and that's available. If you're trying to become a little more tolerant to lactose, you can actually build up the amount of lactose that you can tolerate. So we recommend starting with like really, really small doses of milk daily and then gradually increasing it over several days and weeks and months. Another way to be able to tolerate lactose a little bit better is mixing milk with other foods such as smoothies or soups or sauces. Sometimes when it's mixed with other foods, it's easier to digest. Another way you can really enjoy dairy and still be lactose intolerant is naturally or aged cheeses. A lot of these natural or aged cheeses have no lactose or very low lactose, so they should not upset your stomach at all. And then the last like little tidbit of information is yogurt and fermented dairy is much easier to digest and is usually very tolerable with you being lactose intolerant. So this would be like a kefir or like any yogurts.
So customers asking, what about lactose-free nutrition in milk?
Meaning like, is it like what's the nutritional profile of lactose-free milk?
I mean, I'm gonna say yes. All I know is what I said.
So lactose-free milk has the same nutritional profile as regular milk. So it has 13 essential nutrients, including protein, vitamin D, calcium, and potassium, and all of those wonderful nutrients. And it has the same nutritional profile as any other milk.
So are there any health benefits to lactose?
Man, any health benefits to lactose? Well, lactose is a sugar, and our bodies do need sugar, right? To run appropriately. But I'm not sure if there's specific health benefits related to lactose itself. I would have to research that a little bit.
Right? It's just naturally part of the milk. Just
Yeah.
happens to be the milk sugar part of the milk. Energy is probably.
Yeah, I would say energy would be the number one health benefit of that.
Yep. So can you help us understand the difference between full fat, low fat, fat-free milk, and do you have like some way that people can decide which one is right for them?
Great question. Okay, so the difference between whole milk, low fat, and fat-free milk is just the fat content. So if you whole milk is 3.25% fat, which is not that much, and about 8 grams of fat in general. All milk has 8 grams of protein, 12 grams of lactose, 13 essential nutrients, and the same health benefits. So to me, I think you should drink whatever milk you enjoy and are actually going to drink, because those nutritional benefits are so important for your body to run healthy and happy. So my family, if I'm talking personally, what we do, we have whole milk, 2% and low fat milk in our household. And depending on the day, sometimes I drink a little bit of both or all of them. So it really depends on what your personal preference is.
And then someone is asking between the different milks, do you know which one is lowest in sodium?
Oh, so this is really an interesting question. So all milk is considered low sodium per like guidelines, and doesn't have a lot of sodium, but it's naturally found in milk. It's not like it's like they're adding salt to it or whatnot. And it all has the same amount of sodium. So milk has very important standards of identity. That is like a really it's very stringent. And whenever you process milk, it has to have like to the percentage the same amount of like nutrients and different things in it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Then can you explain what ultra filtered milk is? We see that a bit. Uh,
Yeah, this is a great question because it's become so popular and it's
is
on the shelves, and people really like this product. And I always am so impressed with how many different products we have on the shelves for real dairy and real cow's milk. And I love that consumers can choose really anything that they want, and we have something for everybody. But basically, ultra filtered milk is just regular cow's milk that goes through this special filtration process to separate and remove certain components like lactose and water. And it concentrates nutrients like protein and calcium. So this leaves a product that it has a high amount of protein and it reduces the amount of sugar, but it keeps the natural vitamins and minerals in it. The process itself with ultra filtered milk is basically it is a pasteurization, and it's this extremely high temperature, so typically above 275 degrees Fahrenheit for a very short period of time, which is usually 2 to 5 seconds. This basically kills any harmful bacteria and makes the milk safe for like long term storage without refrigeration. So most people don't realize that because milk is such normally a perishable item, that ultra filtered milk can actually be stored unopened at room temperature for 6 to 9 months. Once it's obviously opened, and should be refrigerated and then consumed within 7 to 10 days. But it's a really cool process that really extends the shelf life of milk and makes this very perishable, very nutritious item, something that is a little bit easier to store.
yeah, I think that's why people love it. It lasts a little bit longer.
Yeah, and people want more protein and less sugar. This is something that's very consumer driven within dairy, and farmers know that, and they really want to make a product that is important for consumers and what consumers want.
Yeah, so I have a customer question. Is raw milk safe to drink?
Okay, so I'm gonna put my very dietitian hat on. Um, like pasteurization is a very important process to be able to kill any bacteria and make milk very safe for the masses, for all of the population. I firmly believe in pasteurization and the importance of it, and I believe that there are certain target audiences that should never consume it, and those are people that have um, compromised immune systems, so young children, older adults. This would be something that I would say is pasteurization is an awesome thing, and we should keep that. And raw milk and pasteurized milk have all the same nutrients in it, right? They have those 13 essential nutrients. It's the same nutritional profile. So to me, pasteurization is the way to go.
And you probably just answered this question, but since somebody asked it, I'm going to say it again, see if you have anything else to add. Why is drinking raw milk controversial?
Because I think it's a food safety concern. Because
Yep.
pasteurization kills any of the bacteria that could possibly be in it. When you drink raw milk, you're opening yourself up for a food safety issue that could result in, a horrific issue.
Is the amount of calcium the same in skim milk as whole milk?
Yes, all milks have the same nutritional profile.
Are
Well,
there
I
any,
shouldn't say all milks, sorry. So the ultra filtered milk that we were talking about has a different nutritional profile that has higher calcium, higher protein, and lower sugar. But
and then you just probably answered this next question by saying that. Is there anything different or additional benefit to drinking Fairlife brand of milk?
yeah, so Fairlife is an ultra pasteurized or ultra filtered milk, and that would have a higher protein and higher calcium and lower sugar. So that would be like a lactose-free milk. A lactose-free milk. So anybody that is lactose intolerant would be able to have Fairlife without a problem.
And then somebody else is a fan of Fairlife, and they're saying, do you think ultra filtered milk will become more commonplace so that it can become less expensive?
I would love that for consumers. Yes. We are actually opening up a Fairlife plant here in upstate New York. I live in upstate New York, so I'm really excited about that opportunity for consumers because I think it will be easier to have and more local.
And then a customer has a question to see if you can explain what A2 milk is, and
Yeah, of
can
course.
it be helpful for someone that is lactose intolerant?
Yeah, so this is a really interesting question. A2 milk is a type of cow's milk that contains only the A2 beta casein protein in it. So rather than like the more common mix of A1 and A2 proteins, this milk contains many proteins, and one major group is casein. Within that group, there's two types of beta casein, A1 beta casein and A2 beta casein. So some people report that A2 milk is easier to digest and causes like less bloating and gas or stomach discomfort than regular milk. While A2 milk still contains lactose, some who think they are lactose intolerant may actually may be more sensitive to that A1 protein, not the lactose. So nutritionally, A2 milk is the same as regular milk. There is and I say this as a very like as a registered dietitian, there's some research about this. It's very emerging, but there's not enough to showcase like a direct like a strong evidence for this. But some people find that it's easier to digest, but it does still have that lactose in it.
Yep, they call that digestive wellness milk, is how I hear it phrased.
That's great.
Yep. So I love this question, Mary. A customer is asking, what about the date on milk? How long can you drink it past the date stamped on the product?
So that's a sell-by date on milk. Man, I mean, a couple days after that, sometimes, you can get after the sell-by date. I mean, 100%, I'm always the person who smells the milk and can tell whether it's good or not so good. And if you're ever in doubt, throw it out, right? That's kind of the words that we live by. But it's usually just a couple days after the sell by date.
Why does cottage cheese have more protein than yogurt if they are both made from milk?
Yeah,
We have such good questions for you, Michelle.
that's a great question. Well, it's just the process of it, and the curds and what's found in cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is so hot right now, and I love that because as a dietitian, like forever, we've always recommended, even before American Dairy Association, when I worked in my clinical days, it was just always loaded in protein and such a great source of protein. So I love that it's trendy and I love that it has a great amount of protein in it. But yes, it's just the way they process it, the curds, what they keep in the cottage cheese, and how they process yogurt and whatnot. So it just comes down to processing.
So a customer is asking you to speak a little bit about almond milk, but I'm going to just tweak that question a little bit if that's okay with
Yeah,
them.
sure.
To just say, can you talk about plant-based alternatives in general, as well as mentioning almond milk and how that compares to cow's milk?
Yeah, of course. So there's definitely differences in nutrition between plant-based alternatives and cow's milk. Cow's milk is naturally rich in nutrients. So there's a bunch of words here that I really want to break down so we understand. So natural, right? Cow's milk has, you're not adding anything to it. It has 13 essential nutrients. It has all of this great nutritional profile, where milk alternatives like almond milk or other plant-based alternatives, they don't have that natural 13 essential nutrients, and they add stuff into the milk to make it similar to cow's milk. The other difference is cow's milk is a higher quality of protein in it. So there's that 8 grams of protein. There's the 9 essential amino acids to make a complete protein. So you don't have to kind of add anything to that. It's just a wonderful high quality protein. And then the third point that I really want to make, the cost per glass of milk, cow's milk, is less expensive than any plant-based alternative. And just, I know my family, lately, when I go to the grocery store, I'm always trying to kind of make sure that I'm being cognizant of the prices and making sure that like I'm cognizant of those prices. And that's something that I can do every week. And I feel comfortable putting all of that milk in my cart because it's a good price point. It has all of those nutrients in it as well.
All right, I'm going to combine these two questions because they're very similar. One is how many days after milk is opened is it still okay to use? And the other, when milk is past good to drink, can you use it for baking instead of throwing it out?
Oh man. Okay. Can you use it for baking? If milk is past its prime, I don't recommend using it. I recommend throwing it out. I'm a very cautious person, and would not want to make anybody sick from a food safety standpoint. So that would be my recommendation. And then, so for ultra filtered milk, it's good 7 to 10 days after opening. And that's about the same. It's about a week for regular cow's milk.
So, can you talk about the difference between organic whole milk and regular whole milk?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
this customer sometimes they notice from one of them they get their sinuses triggered.
Oh, interesting. I'm not sure why that would be. So organic milk is a difference in how a farm how a farm farms, right? It's the practice, the farm practice in itself. And to be organic, you have to go through different USDA certifications to have your farm marked as organic, and you need to abide by those sort of
Yep.
rules for organic certifications. Regular like cow's milk, non-organic cow's milk is just a different way to farm. It's the farming practices. So a farm decides what's best for them to do. Um, and honestly, organic milk and regular milk, like I've said a few times, still has the same nutritional profile, right? It has that 13 essential nutrients, it has that high quality protein in it. So it really comes down to a personal preference for the consumer on what they want to purchase and what they want to consume. But you should feel safe regardless if it's organic or regular about the milk that you're drinking.
So along those same lines, we have a question. What is the difference between grass-fed milk and organic milk? And why does grass-fed last so much longer than regular milk?
Yes, so the product is probably ultra filtered and pasteurized, which gives that a little bit longer shelf life, like I talked about previously with the ultra pasteurized, ultra filtered milk. Um, Grass fed is a farming practice. So that means that the cows on that farm, it's what the cows are consuming as their diet on that farm. So they're eating a lot of grass or hay or silage or stuff like that. But that's like most cows' diets. So yeah, it's really a marketing term and a farming practice.
So a customer is saying, I wish cottage cheese didn't have so much sodium. Is sodium added to the product?
Um, I'm not sure about that. I would have to look that up. I'm not sure, unfortunately. I can get you that answer and follow up with you afterwards, though.
Okay. How can busy families easily add more dairy to their meals and snacks?
Oh my gosh. I love this question because as a mom of two very active boys and a registered dietitian, I really know firsthand how fast-paced life can be and how important it is to really fuel those growing bodies with the right nutrition, right? And dairy is one of the easiest and most versatile ways to add high-quality protein, calcium, and essential vitamins to meals and snacks. So I think this is a personal preference on how to add that in. I'll tell you what I do with my family. So we always start strong with a strong breakfast, which always includes dairy. So my 9-year-old loves yogurt parfaits, and I make that every morning for him. And my oldest one, my 11-year-old, he is a cereal. And he's a cereal boy. He loves a good bowl of cereal every morning as well, amongst some other stuff. Snacks, I'm love a good just individual cup of yogurt, and I throw some berries and granola in there, and that makes a great easy snack that has lots of food groups and good nutrition in it. And then for lunch and dinner, we have a rule in our house that you can have milk or chocolate milk or water on the meal for dinner. So that's kind of a great way for us to get another serving of dairy into our kids and into us as well.
So you have a customer question that says both her kids are lactate intolerant. So I don't know if she means lactose intolerant. How can they do snacks?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to remember how to include dairy products in your diet, even when you're lactose intolerant. So I would say that Lactaid is a brand that is a lactose free milk brand that you could certainly include, and that can be added to smoothies, drink just normally. Whole. You can add a little chocolate to that to make a great chocolate milk. And then I would also say those hard or naturally aged cheeses are another great way to get dairy into your diet as well. You might want to, you know, try like a yogurt because some people have a better way can tolerate like that yogurt because it has those probiotics in it and is easily digestible. So you could try that and see how they tolerate it.
So a customer is commenting, milk used to last longer after opening until about 2 years ago. They remember a change allowing the dairy farmers to use a later expiration date. Could that be the reason?
I don't know about this. I can certainly research that and get back to you though. I'm not sure about that at all. I'm sorry, Joni.
That's okay. Another customer says you can make your own cottage cheese and control the amount of sodium in it. So this is kind of we're wrapping up. We have 1 minute left. What dairy products offer the most protein, since I feel like that's a concern of people now, and how much do we really need?
Yeah, great question. So protein is like the hot topic amongst consumers. I feel like People love protein these days, and they should, because there's so much great research that shows how good it is for our health and how important it is for us. And I love that. So high protein dairy options, Greek yogurt is a great source of high protein dairy. 3/4 of a cup or 6 ounces has between that 15 and 18 grams of protein in it. We've talked a lot about cottage cheese today, and I just absolutely love adding cottage cheese to everything lately to really make to add that protein into my diet as well. And a half a cup of cottage cheese has that 13 to 14 grams of protein in it. That ultra filtered milk that we've talked about, 1 cup has about 13 grams. But there's so many great products that have even more protein in it these days that are dairy based, that I love as well. And then just regular milk has 8 grams of protein, which is still a lot of protein. And cheddar cheese has 6 to 7 grams of protein. So dairy is really known for the amount of protein in it. You can always feel really confident when you choose any dairy product that you're going to get a good source of protein in it. So how much protein do we really need really comes down to your age and how active you are. So that would be like a recommended daily intake, and that could be, it's, as a dietitian, we figure it out, grams per kilogram of body weight.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and helping us have a better understanding of dairy. We appreciate your time, getting lots of love here from the customer base. So thank you, Michelle. We
This
appreciate
is
everything
so
you shared with
fun.
us. Yeah, and everybody, happy June, which is National Dairy Month. Enjoy some dairy.
Yeah, happy
Have
Dairy
a,
Month, everybody. Thanks, Joni.
yes, have a great rest of your day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.